Let's see. Can you hear me now? All right. I think I'm good. I could see my audio.
Yep, I hear you.
All right. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I was looking at a couple of these, and we've got NASDAQ back down in the range now, but we just missed a pretty good opportunity on here. As you can see, it went up and snagged the high of the yesterday's afternoon session, and so it just happened like maybe, I don't know, 40 minutes ago, right up here. So now what I was thinking was I was waiting for price to break above here or below there on open, but I'm thinking gold looks a little bit more likely like that might happen. It kind of same deal. As you can see, we set the highs and the lows of the overnight session and the afternoon session yesterday. We kind of set those highs and lows early and just never broke out. So we never broke out anywhere. We're just stuck inside of here, pretty close to the
Good
low.
morning.
So
Ken, we don't see your screen.
oh shoot. Thanks for letting me know.
You're welcome.
Let me put that on here. Okay, so anyway, what I was pointing at, we've only got like seconds left now, so 30 seconds left. But anyways, what I was pointing at was areas up above basically the entire day range. It already took it there. And on gold, I was thinking we may go down here and sweep these lows. That's something that I'll be looking for as the market opens and see if we end up with some trade opportunities around that place. All right, we are open. Where are you at? Tighten. Probably won't spend too much time on here today, you guys. Won't keep you on here for too long anyways. We opened up with some fairly aggressive buying right off the bat. NASDAQ. If you keep an eye over here on the left, you'll see areas of liquidity that's being placed in the market right here at open, and these places are worth looking. Like we can see up here at 813. These contracts, 29 contracts up there, they keep flashing on and off. So somebody keeps adding them and removing them. You'll see them pop up right here as well. Normally, when you see that happening, price will either be attracted to it, or, and I don't know if this is helpful at all, or it'll push away from it because the presence of a large seller there makes people not want to buy, order flow traders. But here's our daily low on NASDAQ. We go down there and touch it, I'm gonna be looking for a buy. I don't know how quick it'll happen. So that's why I'm telling you right now that I may be looking for a buy when NASDAQ runs these lows. Let me just make sure I'm looking at the right spot here. This is the 777. Yeah, it's right down there. So yeah, I guess we're kind of looking at the same thing for both. We're looking for I would like to see gold run the lows, and I'd like to see NASDAQ run the lows. That would give us one of the easiest trading opportunities. I can't believe that right before open, this just flew up there, snagged that, and then came down. Just completely clear. Anybody that was trying to trade, anyone that was trying to trade down to this area and be early just got knocked out all in one quick sweep. right before the market opened. Y'all seen that? It's dirty. There's a Titan. Oh no, never mind. It's not. All right, so we've won one and lost one. So if you took this trade on open, this happened 1 minute after open. This was a push on NASDAQ. That one did not work. So it hit stop loss, but this one on gold hit TP2.
Good morning.
Good.
Good morning.
Okay. Kind of boring, but what do we expect on a Christmas Eve? Not really doing too much. Even these POC shifts here, the 403 contracts, 572. It's not a lot of volume at all. See, these are the areas I'd really like to trade. It's these outer areas here. There's a couple of reasons, but I've showed you guys this a lot. Like the way we've got our profiles set up right now, real balanced. We already put in a new high, right? So we had like a poor high yesterday, and then we came in, just barely broke the high of that. So we're just like totally balanced right now, and that's what the circumstances with today, holidays, all that kind of stuff. I feel like one of the most predictable trades that we could take today would be on these outer areas here, or just sticking to the Titan system strategy, just something like that that's already got it real structured for you. I want this to go down here because I feel like that would be a good trade for sure. Sweep below here, those lows, this low. Got to give us some type of a quick little, even if it's a 1-to-1, it's a trading opportunity. You're gonna do the same thing with any other signals. You're just gonna take it as it is, even a 1-to-1. I'm not really looking my approach to the market today. I'm not really looking for big giant swings or big giant trades or anything like that. Just looking for something quick. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Wow, this is weird. I got a wire. This is a wired headset. All right. Going down there on gold. Looks like maybe we'll get that on gold first. I'll start watching it.
Hey Ken, when you have a second, I put in the chat here. My indicator list on TradingView is not showing when I do the little down arrow, but on other chart layups, like I can see all my indicator list, and I've like started it and restarted and reloaded that template.
So it's just one chart template that you don't have the indicator tab on?
No, but if like you look in the chat, like in the top left-hand corner of your indicator, like if you do like the drop down, it'll show the list of your indicators.
Yeah. Let's see.
Okay, when I do that, you can see, I put it in the chat, you can see it just
yeah.
zero.
Huh.
Like, I don't know.
Man, you've been having some weird issues lately, huh?
That's weird.
Have you tried to turn it off and turn it back on?
Yeah, I closed out the whole thing and then I closed that template and reload it. It's only that template. Like I've like the other templates will show the indicators when I do the drop down.
What I would do is right click the chart and remove the indicators and see if it just pops up. You see how you could just right click and press remove 3 indicators, or however when you get there. Try to remove them and then see if it would let it. Well, I don't know if that's going to make it pop up. It sounds like you're going to have to rebuild your template from scratch, but you could try and remove those, because if you remove them, if one of the indicators is causing the issue, then that should make the issue go away.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Otherwise, you might just have to set up a new template. I think this Titan looks good right here. I know it's in the red zone right now, but that just makes it lower risk. And the reason is because I'm already thinking it's going to go below the low. So if you sold it there, then you could trade it down to the low that I don't know exactly where, but at least this TP I'm sure is probable. If it breaks the low, that's let's see, 496. It's like $1 move basically. So, but anyway, the risk is as low as it could be. Entering up here, this is what we talk about when it comes to a red zone trade. You could always take a loss, but right now it's as small as it could be. Or if you're opposed to selling here, then, well, I was going to say we have a buy opportunity, but
I just snagged a quick 220.
nice. Yeah,
We
the actual, yeah, it's because he's got an actual mic on his computer. This one ended up waking up to the stop loss anyway, so I did get into that one, but I got in. I mean, it's not even worth talking about because it was so late to get into that it was a super tiny loss on there. So I'm still looking, watching to see if it sweeps low. It's crazy if it just sweeps this low and does that. This is exactly what I was looking for it to do, exactly this, but at this low of the day instead. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. A nice little sweeping by off of there. You guess it's that 4,500 level is what it hit. I didn't realize we're hitting a round level, but now I'm looking at my other chart. I've got a 4,500 round level, yesterday's closing price for VWAP, and then there was just a ton of orders that came in, and so just right there, 4,500. Doesn't mean that it won't go down lower, but yeah, it definitely found some buyers there.
Hey Ken, I have a question. I was wondering, what is, I think I'm saying it right, DWAP? What does that mean?
VWAP is the
VWAP. Okay.
yeah, VWAP is a volume weighted moving average. So it's basically measuring the volume and where it's
Okay.
at on the chart, and it will draw a level for you like this. Here, I'll put it on here so you can see. It looks just like a moving average. So you can type VWAP like that. Auto anchored is fine. And then when you put it on there, you're going to see these lines pop up like this. There's normally 3 of them. You'll have a blue one and these green ones. Those are standard deviations levels, so you can remove those if you want. And then this one blue line here, this is the line that is basically hold on, let me take a little peek at this. Okay, so yeah, so this is basically the line. This is the volume weighted moving average. So if you look it up, if you'll look up VWAP, it might help you to make a little more sense of it. But the reason why so many people look at it and like it and use it is because they say that, like, bigger traders use it as a benchmark for the day. Like, where are we in the day, with the price action or with the volume in the trading and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Gold is just being tricky today. I'm watching it flip back and forth, these areas. We're big zones here on NASDAQ. This is not looking that good. Almost have to get rid of the trading zone so my chart looks normal. But this just goes to show, and I am going to get rid of them. But I mean, look, we're within this big giant wick. I mean, if you really look at what's happened, this was before open at 7:30. We've just been kind of in this wick ever since then. So I'm not interested in trading NASDAQ until we get out of that area. I know that we got a setup happening now, whatever, but I say we wait for price to get out of that area, and then gold is kind of also in a range, so it's really not doing too much. 15 minutes in, not very impressed with our Christmas Eve price action.
It'll be interesting to see what they do for like a Boxing Day sale.
Yeah. Yeah. You think they're going to do something for it?
Well, I think they're going to do something either Boxing Day or like end of the year or something like that.
Right.
Remember last year, like that was that unbelievable 90% off?
Is that when they did that deal for the $16, right?
I think it was January 1st.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'd be nice if they do.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, and I mean, this is just a strategy I was thinking of. like when something goes on like sale, like ridiculous, like, $25, $16, you could buy one or two. It doesn't mean you have to trade them. Well, you have a month to pass before you get charged the fee. So, and like most people can probably pass a 25K in a month.
Right.
But what I would do is like go to $100 or $50 below like whatever you need to pass,
Yep.
and then wait for a sale. Wait for the sale. Like the PA fee is like like a
Right.
one-time fee
Right.
of $50. And then because then it's $50 for 10 years. It's like it's so you're all primed and ready to go. You're just waiting for the sale, which they have once or twice a month. And then when
Right.
that time comes, just trade for $50 and then boom.
Right. Right. And then that way, like, because see, if I don't think that we were all as hip to how they do their deals, like we are now.
Yeah.
So back then, so now, but now, yeah, like, dude, because they did those accounts for $16, and like that was super cheap. Even if you had to hang on to them for a little while, you know what I mean, until you're ready to change them, like you said, until they do a good deal. If you could have, if you could get them super cheap like that, and then just hang on to them until they do a performance account deal.
And usually you can do that within a 1 month period.
Right, right,
And because, like, I mean, usually they have it like, maybe $100 or whatever. But I mean, you can get those fees sometimes really low. So wait for the evaluation, get it, get it cheap, and get it almost passed within a month, and then wait for the PA sale,
yeah,
pass it, and then it's just a way to get. You might have to pay 1 month of fees, but in the long run, if you don't blow the account, it's worth it.
right, yep, it would be. You just got to have a plan and stick to it and be smart about it, you know what I mean, and just actually stick to that plan, and it would work for you. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, 'cause I think that one time, not here just recently, they did the one deal where they did the deal on the evaluations, and then like the next deal, they gave the $6 PAs.
Right.
So you could within the same month, you could get a deal on the evaluations, and then turn around a couple weeks later, 3 weeks later, get a deal on the eval. I
Yep.
mean on the PAs.
Yep.
Yeah, and have it almost passed, ready to go. So when that deal comes, you're like, one trade away.
By the way, guys, we're back to that 500 level on gold. We'll see if we actually snap this daily low. We're below the daily low now. Let's see if we can hit 90.
I got a small win on a buy on that MNQ because it almost went to the low. Small.
Oh, I just got out of gold. Man, I've just milked that, bro. I got in gold at 55.08 right here. So I just took that whole thing down there. That was
How big was that trade?
That was, let me go look at the total. I chickened out. I had my TP at 90. I should have just left it. You see, that's why I put that line there a couple minutes ago. Because I was like, let me see if it'll go down to 90. And I chickened out and I took my profits at, I started trailing. And I got out at 92, which was right here. So I pretty much got the whole move. Let me just see how this reacts here, because I might just step in and buy it if I can leverage part of my profits. I'm just watching how this candle closes, and the volume, and the risk. Like right now, it's too big of a risk. It's a $780 trade. If you tried to buy it, I'd have to buy it down at like 93 or something like that. Let's see. If you went in right now, it's like a $300 risk. I would treat it that way, like 300 for 300 or something like that. But anyway, this is what I did was I'll look at the total amount I got on that. The trade itself was pretty simple. Y'all already know I was looking for price to come down here to buy it. Well, I started thinking to sell down to there, and so when it pulled up and this candle just went through and crushed all of these is when I started getting in and looking in for a sell.
So Ken, it seems like you're kind of more interested in, not more, but you're starting to get interested in gold.
Well,
compared to what you used to.
yeah, I'm just gonna keep it up here. Somebody asked me to, put gold up here and see if we could start watching gold, while we watch NASDAQ and see if we could find some opportunities. So I said I'd do it, and like today, look at NASDAQ. I mean, look at this compared to this. If I see a good trading opportunity on gold, I'm gonna go ahead and take it.
And what is the price per tick and all that stuff compared to MNQ or NQ? Like, it's more expensive, isn't it?
So you mean for gold?
Yeah.
For gold is $10 per tick, I believe. So
Yeah. Wow.
right?
It is.
Yeah, $10 per tick for gold. And if I can get this to go, let's see. What is it? Is it 4 ticks? It's still the same thing, right? 4 ticks in 1 point. Yeah, 4 ticks. Yep. So it is definitely more expensive. You got to account for that. That's for sure.
That's 10 ticks per point, I think.
Yeah, but not like somebody was just telling me about silver yesterday. That's crazy.
Silver is crazy. I mentioned that like many months ago. I said,
yeah. So what is it? $25 a point or a tick or something like that?
I don't know. It's crazy. It's like 10 times whatever NQ is.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a lot of money fast, but wow.
Yeah.
You got to have a huge account to trading minis instead of micros.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to trade micros, that's for sure. Look at that weird gap type of thing. Gapped all the way up there.
The volume on MNQ is 200K, which is more than I thought it would be. Today.
MNQ, yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was going to be around like 30K or something.
Something super, super low.
Where, yeah, like you said, when it ticks, it's like, it kind of ticks like oil, you know what I mean? You can see the ticks moving.
Right, I know exactly what you're talking about. All right, if you took that trade for $300, you just won that. So that was another $300 off this gold flush right here. Basically, I can't remember. I took it too, but I bought at. It was right when I said I said this candle is a $700 risk. So the only way you could enter it is if it pulled back here to 93, I think, and I bought it at 92.9 and just got out at a $350 profit at 92. And I would try to hold this a little bit longer, but I don't like that it's. I don't know. I don't know. I'm already up, and I didn't really expect to be this up on a day like today, so I thought I was going to take it a little easier. So I just, either way, the retesting of this, right? I just feel like it might bounce. So I'm happy. I also didn't expect to sell out of here. I was looking for this to be my one small trade. So now I'm kind of like in big profit and didn't expect it. So I have exceeded my goal today again. Now I did try to trade right.
I got in there at night. I got in at 490.5.
buying it?
Yes, sir.
Oh man, you got a
Got that
freaking
profit
you got where did you take profit at?
at 97.5.
Oh man, you even got you got like a great. You actually couldn't have gotten any better than that.
That was pretty good. It was just one micro, but 60 some
It,
bucks.
so this part looked really good, right? I was like, yeah, nice flush right below the low, and then I was like, just pull back a little bit. Let me get 50% off. And then when it did that, I was like, oh shit. I don't know about this one now. That was a little, I like a good red zone trade, but that was pretty red zone right here. I thought we were about to lose that trade for a second, and
Then
then
it came back.
yeah, and then when I saw I saw it gap up, and I said, "Oh, okay, that's got to be a good sign, right?" And then it freaking whoop, pushed right back down. This is like, oh man, but it ended up. I think it hit TP on either this candle or this one or the other. And I was just strictly, I had my TP set right on the low of this range right there. Oh yeah, let me check. I want to see. I got this initial balance indicator on here somewhere. What's this?
So are we thinking we're going to go into a buy for gold?
Well, if we see buyers step in, we're at the right place. I tell you that much. I was looking for this, right, which was gonna. What I was looking for was for price to push below here, and then a flush, and then I was expecting to buy, and I would, in a typical scenario, when it flushes like this, I look to trade back to volume, like the POC, or I will look to trade back to the middle of the range. And so right now on gold, the POC's up at 415, all the way up here. That's where POC is. That's where the volume is. At 502, which is right about here, is yesterday's VWAP. We've had a lot of volume kind of pile in there. That's also the current day value area low for based on time. So I don't know. It's not I'm not right now. I'm not seeing an aggressive change of hands. Right? It's kind of grinding down right now. So what I would look for to signify something on gold is a hard push like this, something that's kind of erratic, right? And not just like a slow grind down, making lows, and then you trying to buy a flush and trying to buy a flush over and over. In order to make this high probability, what I'd want is to see something quickly, just almost out of nowhere, like, whoa, where did that come from? Just quick snag, and then run the other way. And if you're watching Delta, if you'll watch the change between aggressive sellers to buyers, that will be one of your strongest confirmations, and then we'll look for it. So if you see something like that happening, let me know, and I'll go look at it quickly and see if it looks good. NASDAQ looks horrible. I'm not doing anything with that right now, just because, I mean, look, I'll put it this way. It looks horrible, but if you wanted to trade, like if you were going to do any type of trading, what I would do is I would look at the clear and obvious, which is we have wicks all in this area here. So I would look to trade areas like this, looking for reasons to buy, and I'd probably consider looking at areas like this for selling, right? So now and pay attention to this. Like, see, everything else we have in here was wick, reclaim, price pushed out, price slams back in. So like if this candle here slams back in, it's not as highly probable as a high of day or like a typical flush, but it is there is a range for sure, and we can see it, and you see how the only thing that's present in these boxes for the most part are wicks, not so much up top, but as long as it stays that way, I'd look to sell these areas. Now, if this starts to look more like like it's going to do one of these, then you can move that out to where you're not including that area. So you might just be a little, just be a little more whatever with this. See, this went right back in. See, I just couldn't seem to close inside of that range. So even looking for a sell on something like this, if it makes sense, that's a 4.5 point setup. So selling back down towards the middle of this, or something like that, doesn't look too bad. Yeah. Yeah, see, this does not look that good in here. Just zooming out a little bit, if we talk about what we talked about at the very beginning of the session was trading these areas and trading these areas on NASDAQ, because we're really, you got to zoom in to see what it is, but it's just kind of crazy that 2 minutes before open. No, this was the opening candle. So on the opening candle, we put in a high right here, and we put in a low right there, and we've basically been inside of that this entire time. So this is no different than what I talk about when we have news like CPIs coming out at an hour before the market open, and then I'm like, hey guys, if we're gonna be trading and we instantly open and we trade, we're still inside of the NFP candle, or we're still inside of the news candle or whatever, we typically wait for a price to break out. I kind of feel like this might be the same. It tried to break a little bit on that next candle, but it just swept the low and stayed inside. So just know that that's what we're trading in on NASDAQ. So don't beat yourself up if you're not finding lots of opportunities. That's a 43-point range, and that includes the entire open. So we've had 43-point candles on the 1 minute this week. One candle, 43 points. So it's just, remember, it's all relevant each day. The candles might look the same, but they are in no way the same. They're completely different sized every single day. It's up to us to identify that type of volatility or lack of.
Risk it all for 5 points.
Yeah. I feel like I kind of got lucky on this one. Like the fact that I had to enter at 50%. See, if I could have risked the whole amount, I would have bought here. I put my stop here. My TP would have been up here, but because of how large this candle was, I had to go in at 50%, which made my entry here, my stop loss here. And for whatever reason, I said, you know what, I'm just going to go 1-to-1 on this trade. And luckily I did that and skirted by with that trade, because it would not have made it to TP1. It ended up coming down and pushing the lows again. Let me look at the volume in that turnaround there. Let's see. Yeah, this was, I hate to say it, but this was also this was a good flush right here. I just didn't see it happening. I know we were talking about it, but for whatever reason I didn't see the fact that we had put in this low and then this one, and then looking at the actual volume in it, it was perfect. Look, this was, so these are the candles coming down, and then you can see that as it broke that low right here, bunch of big orders came in, lots of sellers came in at the bottom. You can see by the color and the sell side imbalances. I know that those are probably hard to see because they're kind of a maroon color, but you got 20 contracts, 14, 15, 15, 20, 20, 19, just stacked imbalances down here. All sellers aggressively entering at the low of this candle, but price failed to expand past that, and there's not, you see, these are market orders that you're seeing on this footprint chart.
Ken, did it not keep going down because there was buy limit orders? Is that what
Exactly? That's what I was about to say. Is like, look, you have obvious aggressive sellers, because the only type of trade you're going to see on this footprint are market orders. These are orders actually crossing the spread, they're hitting the button, or they are sell stops that are converted to market orders, and that could be because somebody was buying low and they had their stops below the low. So right as price broke below these lows, their stops are getting triggered, right? And so that's, when they need liquidity to buy, right, and to get out of here, when they need to be able to buy, they need lots of sellers. Well, the easiest place to place all of their buy limits are going to be where they know a bunch of sell stops are going to be, because those are going to be converted to market orders. So of course you'd have your smart money with their buy limits right where everyone's stop loss would be. Anyway, you see all these sell orders come in, and price fails to continue expanding lower, and you can literally see that there was not a lot of aggressive buying. There's nothing crazy that says like, whoa, look at those huge buys that came in. So if you have sellers selling and you have a lack of buyers aggressively buying, then price should continue to go down. But the fact that it did not go down means that passively they were sitting here buying and absorbing all of these sell orders. Selling without expansion is the giveaway here. That's them showing their hands. And you can also, if you didn't look at a footprint chart, you can actually see it in the delta. Look at increased volume. Average delta is 72. Delta on that candle is 133. You can see a bigger delta bar here, which means not only a lot of sellers, but a bigger rate of change in that one candle. You can see it because of the size of the delta here. And so, you look at it. Obviously, if we would have been watching this, it would have been easy. But look at the volume profile as well. So we had the sellers coming in all the way down to the low. Price closed down below a bulk of the volume, which is my first indication here. Plus, it made a new low. Next candle, most of the volume was concentrated at the lower part of the candle. Our POC is full of stacked buyers, 47 here, 18 there. I can't read that. It looks like 16. And then price closed above the value area in POC. And that's my final. That is literally the final trigger, is if it closes up above that POC of that candle. But I also like to check this and make sure that the risk is okay, and that would have been the final thing. I'd have been okay with going in right here, because I'll risk 330 on a trade with stops one tick below the low. But that would have been real nice if you would have looked at price to come back to the POC, which is right here at 89, and look at how price retested the POC perfectly. That would have given you a $160 risk. And now if we go and look for middle of the range, or it looks like it's gone to that old value area right here. So yeah, that would have been a crazy little move. Shoot, even if you would have just traded back up to 4,500, that would have been a $1,000 move off of a $160 risk. So whoever was talking about that earlier, I hope you bought in, because I know we were talking about it right in here or over here. We were either talking about it here or here, and I don't. If we were talking about it here, I don't know how I didn't see that it had flushed. Look at that. We're up here at this. We're hitting the top of this too now, and we flushed the top of that. Are we trading, you guys? We're in the spot that I talked about right here. This is where I'd be if we get it. I'd be looking for a sell right here, and this might be our low risk entry attempt. See how it's coming up in here? You got buyers buying and nobody selling, and prices not going up any higher. So let's take a look at that here. Let's see if it. I'm trying if I can measure this fast enough. Yeah, this is a low risk trade right here. Even if you sold up here anywhere near the highs of this, right where it's at, this is like $80. I mean, if you could trade 80 for 80. I mean, if it broke the high, then I don't know. I really don't know where it's gonna go after that. I was expecting that we'd be trading. Like, my trade ideas are strictly off of this level here, and I'm really thinking about selling. If it goes up higher, I'd have to reanalyze everything. So, you could take a swing at trying to trade this level here, and if it works, then good. And if it doesn't, then I don't know what to trade on that. Hold on a second here. I gotta mute my mic. Okay, I'm back. All right. What do we got here? So let's take a peek at this NASDAQ. I think the price action looks great for selling. I think you should already be in a sell or selling it immediately if you are going to sell this. It's $100 trade, honestly. I mean, it's $100 trade, and if it drops back down to 810, that's $300 from where it's at. But with that being said, Delta they're aggressively buying right now. So just putting that out there that they are aggressively buying. And this broke the high. So we have to wait for another flush. So I just posted a video about this. This is exactly what you'd call working a market, and this is exactly what you call grinding up to it. So I took a swing at it, and I lost my trade. So I don't even think I lost $60 on the trade because I entered so high. But this is whoever I was talking to about gold, and that I like to see a quick push down to it and then a flush. This is price trending up to a level. If you're going to try to trade flushes here, just remember that you're trading a very regular trend, and sometimes it would just keep trending past, right? You're going to try to trade this red candle, and it'll go up. And then you're going to try to trade the next red candle, it's going to go up. How you could avoid that if you want to be disciplined, and this is the easiest way to avoid it, is to wait for divergence in Delta. If you'll wait until Delta becomes divergent, showing that the buyers are weakening, or if we can see sellers stepping in while price is going up, then something like that. If we that would be the best scenario up here at this level. I'll normally take the first swing at it just because if it's a low risk swing, I'd rather get in and be able to trade it than just miss the whole entire thing. But since I got knocked out on the first one, I'd tell you for 100% certain I'm going to wait until I can see Delta curving over, and when it starts to curve over, then I'll go in. I'll show you what that means or what that looks like real quick. Like this. So you see, this is where we talked about it right here. This is where it broke the high. This is where it broke the high right here. We started talking about it, I think, right here. And so when this candle came in, and again, see the pattern's the same. You see it had come up here, it made a high. It came up here, it made a high, closed in the value area. This one failed to make a new high, closed below the value area or the POC of that candle, entered here, stop loss there, stopped out on the next candle. And so looking for that same pattern, but up here, and I want to see divergence in delta, right? So this is kind of like cheating. Like this isn't really fair. I don't really like it when it does this, but like you see there's a tiny bit of divergence here where we could see that this made a high while this failed to make a high. I don't really like what I'm talking about is I'd like to see a swing high, right? Swing high, low, high, and then here swing high, low, lower high while it's making a higher high. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see. Sometimes we get the pullback opportunity. Like this definitely flushed just now. And I would love to trade this right here. I could see, obviously some sellers stepped in. We could see the delta. I'd be fine trading this. But I'm not going to risk $200 on it. I'm not going to risk $200 on it when I don't see super aggressive selling. I don't see anything that's like, oh my God, type of change of hands. So I will wait. Is that making sense to you guys, or am I just confusing you?
Makes sense.
All right.
Makes sense.
All right. Oh yeah, I got a tick chart. Let me look at that real quick. I shouldn't do it. Don't let me do it, guys. Don't let me look at the tick chart. I'm gonna sell. I was like, oh, there it is. My delta looks very flat on here for some reason. And delta is actually like really, really in line on this chart, on this tick chart right here, right now. Is that a Titan setting up, making us sell? Yeah. See that big sell limit right here? Sitting there. All right, I'm starting to see some bigger sells coming. You see this right here? Big delta on here. The volume's not too crazy, but there's definitely more sellers in there than buyers in this one specific candle right here. So now that could be I haven't looked a lot like to the left. Like obviously we made a new high. We started breaking the daily high, breaking the daily high. So I would assume that some of these orders in here were probably stop loss orders that got triggered when like when price came back and started. Maybe people tried to buy, right, and then they got stuck there. I don't know. I feel like we could end up missing this one just because of how it's setting up. I'm not seeing a lot of opportunity to enter unless it literally just swings back up to the high and it's just like free money, or if it came back and it retested this area, right? What? Hold on. If it retested this little floating volume area here, I like to trade those right here. Right? Price just comes right back here. Tags that. Look at it. It left. We were looking in the right area. We were looking in the right area.
Can't get them all.
You can't get them all. You can try.
Sometimes you just, when the train gone, let it go, catch a nip.
Yeah, I hate it though, especially because I see a lot of this coming from a mile away, dude. It's like you you see it coming from a mile away, and you're like, yeah, but you're just sitting there waiting for the right. I wish that honestly, it's the most valuable lesson. There are no words to explain it. What just happened right there? The whole reason I didn't take the trade. If anyone wants to glean a lesson here that's of unspoken words, is the reason I didn't take that trade was because of risk. That's the only reason I didn't take it. There was 3-4 different opportunities to enter that where I said I'd take it right now. I would take it right now. Oh, look, it's pulling. I'd take it. But it's the risk. I refuse to take a trade that's not within my risk parameters, and that's honestly, it's the biggest lesson that could be taught here. And I hate that this is how the lesson has to be taught, because dude, that I would have traded to that POC no problem. That was an easy $400 move if we would have entered here. Look at that, $400 from there with a $45 risk, or if we could have traded from here, $190 for $425. So, but hopefully by missing out on that trade and not catching it, we could all take a little lesson that sometimes you just can't take the trade if the risk.
But Ken, then why wouldn't you just jump into micros?
Well, because I don't know, actually. That's you could, but keep in mind that's a fork in the road too, because that does change a lot of things. See, that right there, doing that is what would have caused me to lose the trade earlier on gold. I don't know why this has changed, but earlier on gold, we were looking at this flush down here and right here, and if I would have switched to gold, yeah, I could have bought here, and I could have put my stop loss down below there, and I would have been targeting, like this right here, and it would have been a $760 risk for a $570 profit, and I would have actually got stopped out on that. But because I was trying to decrease my risk, I said, well, I can only enter if price pulls 50% of the way back. So that's what I did. I waited for it to pull back to 93, put my stop here, which was a $400 risk, and then I said, all right, well, it was $350. Where I entered, it was a $350 risk, and I set my TP to $350 profit. So, yes, I could have switched to the micros, and I could have said, all right, I'm willing to risk, I could have chose a number at that point. I could have said, all right, I'm willing to risk X amount of dollars, 250 or 500 or whatever, and then I would have taken the trade. But then I just would have lost that trade. And again, that's fine. Losing's part of the trading. But in this case, because the risk was too big and I stuck to only minis and I didn't switch over quickly, I actually turned a losing situation into a winning situation. So now on this one here, this is an example of where, yeah, I could have switched to micros quickly, and I could have just said, all right, whatever, I'll just risk, $500 between here and here, and I'll do it on the micros, and then I'll go, and I'll do it. But I didn't. And the other thing too, Matt, is this is within my risk allowance. It's $190. I can risk $190, but it is abnormal for the market conditions that we've been having this morning. The 100, that was a pretty big candle, and it was just, I don't know. It didn't feel right, and the risk didn't feel right to take, so I just skipped it completely.
The 5-minute red zone was a winner. I sold out of that.
Which one was it? On NASDAQ?
On MNQ. I sold it about 827.
Oh, nice.
Got out at about 8 12.50. something like that.
Okay, nice. Look at this. This came right back down here. For anyone that didn't get it earlier, it dipped back down in there. I just saw this. So you got to trade off the 5 minute.
Yeah, there's a MNQ printed a red trading zone.
Nice. This just
Yeah,
bounced
right.
off all VWAP, everything down there.
Were you able to check out that video yesterday? I know you got a lot going on.
Dude, I did not even look at it yesterday, but I will. I promise I will. Right when I heard your voice, I said, "Oh no!" I realized, right, and I didn't look at the video.
No, it's all good. I know there are a couple people that were asking to see it, so that's the reason why I'm asking.
Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't just share it, honestly, Darren.
I'll just share it.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, I'll share it in the mentorship.
All right.
I'm looking at that red zone. I see like it's the first candle breaking out of the red zone.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's exactly what I do. If it doesn't break on that first one, then I pass on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's. Oh, I was going to ask you, Ken. Well, I was trying to go back and back test this thing, but for whatever reason, no matter how many zones I tell it to keep on the chart, like it only has a couple of days. I don't know why. I even raised it to it's the default is 300.
Well, there is a limit to TradingView how many objects are allowed on the chart at any given time. I don't know if that might be what it is. What I've done, because I know people like to backtest, is by default I make it where there's as many as possible. You know what I mean? I've got it set to where as many as possible levels and lines can be drawn on there. So if you're not seeing them, then it is if you're not seeing them, then it has hit that limit. It's got to hit the limit.
And when I went to replay mode, they weren't popping up either. So I'm not sure.
Well,
I don't have a real way to go back and back test it. At least the way.
Let me see.
Right now.
Let me see. And by the way, guys, we just put in. I know everyone talked about orb this and orb that yesterday. So if you want to really watch, now pay attention. Forget okay, you got your orb this and orb that. All right, but the initial balance, I think that's really what people should be watching. And so if you look on TradingView, they have it, or if you just mark up the first 1 hour after the market opens, that's the real benchmark. So now watch those highs and lows and watch price react to them. I know that they got the orb and they've modified it down. We talked a lot about that yesterday, but pay attention. Let's see if we're close to any of them here. Maybe on gold. Let's see. What is this? Why is this one 7:30, 8:30? I don't know why this one is. I don't know why this one's off. Let me just, I guess, scooch it over. 9:30 to 10:30. Well, that's weird. And put on a 1 minute. Maybe that's what the problem was. No, there it is, from 7:30 my time to 8:30. Yeah, so we're pretty close. So watch 87.50. Just go on. Just mark go on your chart. The easiest thing that you could do is you go on your chart on all the symbols that you trade. Go to the 1 hour, and for this last candle. Oh wait, no, that wouldn't work either. Shoot, I don't know how you can do it. I don't know the best way to do it besides just look up initial range. You can just look up initial range and set your times like I've done here. That's all I did. And so you set your initial range. Boom, it's gonna have the high from open till now because it's been officially 1 hour since the market opened. And just watch those levels, and you'll see how price reacts to them whether you're looking for support, resistance. What I like to do is look for like wick rejections off of those levels. Those seem to do pretty good. Wick rejections off the levels. Okay, so on your replay mode, I forgot me and you were talking about something, Darren. So on your replay mode, you're saying that the zones are not showing up.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so are some zones showing up, but not all zones are showing up?
I wasn't seeing any zone showing up when I went. I was trying to like go back like a month and just replay it so I can just see. I can just back and track the actual stats of this thing, even though I know there's an edge on it. But I wanted just to be able to show exact numbers.
Right. So you're clicking on trading zones, and then you're on the 5-minute, right?
Yes.
And you're using just default settings. Is that right? For the, I mean,
Yeah,
for the most part, like filter wise.
Yeah, filter's only the first one, and then I have the hide the zones that have been already. I forget what it is.
Hide
whatever, and then
broken zones.
And
All
then
right.
I also have the breakout mode turned on, so I can see exactly where the profit target and stop loss and everything is. So.
Okay, so you're hiding the zones, and then are you just going one by one? Like you're basically going to replay mode, and then you're just playing it. Is that why you're hiding the old zones so you can just monitor?
Well, I don't have to hide them in replay mode. I hide them when I'm just trading live because then they just get them out of the way for me, and I don't really care about them once they're broken.
Right.
But in replay, I could leave it. I don't care. That's fine. I can sift through seeing those things.
All right. I see. I'm on. So I see now here. I'm on replay. I see the daily high and low levels, but I don't see the zones. So let me just hit play and see what happens here. See if anything pops up. I will be honest. I never used replay mode in developing this, so if there's a chance it might not work. I feel like we would have already seen like 10 zones by now.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Okay, so I'll figure out why it doesn't work in replay mode and see if I can push a fix for that. I'm sure I can figure that out easily. I don't know why. I know. I do know, but I don't know. It's. I'm pretty sure that it has to do with the cleanup job that I've got coded into the indicator because it's designed to clean up bars, old boxes, and things like that. You can see if you go into the settings, it'll say process last days, max zones to keep. All of that stuff right there has to do with the cleanup part of it, right? So see how when I just changed that to 50 days. See, TradingView knows that what today is. It knows that today is today, and because the default settings say where did it go? Default settings is process last 0 days. If you're going 1 month back, then that's more than 5 days. But see, if I was to go 60 days back, now we're going to see those zones popping up. You see that?
Yeah. So okay. So what do I need to change?
Temporarily you just need to change process last days. Put it on like 90 days or something like that, and then you can the max zones that you're even allowed to have on a TradingView chart, if I remember right, is 500 or 1,000. I can't remember. So if you just do 999, I know it's not more than 1,000. You're not allowed to put more than 1,000 elements on a chart. So I know it's not more than 1,000. So you could change your settings to 999 and then process the last 90 days, for example, or 120 days. You can make that as big as you want, and then that should fix it for replay mode. And I think that might solve your other problem too, where if you're scrolling back, you're not seeing those zones like you were talking about.
Right. Okay. I'll play around with it. Thank you.
Yeah. No worries.
I just posted that link in this chat here for
For the loom, okay.
For,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna put it in the mentorship as well.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
By the way, I did snag a little trade off of this. This was a Titan trade earlier that we got. If you guys were watching, right. What happened here? Oh, let's go 1 minute. Titan. This trade right here. So somebody was talking when it happened, so I just tried to point at it and draw and say that I think it's going to go up. But what had happened was, yeah, we were talking about selling, right? And we watched it sit there and sell off and sell off and sell off. And we talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. And then price came right down here, dipped into this zone, flushed with that candle, retested here, and then the candle closed there, triggered on the next candle. But I actually went in on this candle earlier as it was setting up, so it had pulled back. I didn't wait for the Titan. I just entered the trade. I could see the price action, so you can see that I entered it right here. The main reason for entering it is look at all the stuff here. So we're at for the day, we're at in terms of volume, we're at the POC, right? We're bouncing off the POC. This is our midpoint of the day, literally the midpoint of the day. So if you measure from the high to the low of NASDAQ all day, this is the midpoint. This is the point of control, which is where most of the volume stands for the day. We're tapping off VWAP right here. We're at the TPO value area high, which is it's basically a volume profile, but it's based on time instead. And then we're also at the value area high. So we're literally just, if we're at the high, that means that I know that we're making kind of moves that look up. Essentially we're retesting the high of the value area. So we had gone out to really high extreme prices, expensive prices, dropped back down to where value was previously found. And then we see buyers step in. So, like, obviously there's willing buyers at this price. So I didn't need a big target. I targeted the POC in this candle. I told y'all I like these little floating volume areas. So I just targeted this POC. There was 111 sell orders in there before. So I was wondering, I don't know if they're going to try to defend that area again. It looks like a good place for a TP. And then price actually went a little higher than that, but it ultimately it did drop back down after that. Go back to the POC one more time, and then it also set up another flush style trade that will probably take us up here to this 825 area. And there's another Titan setting up as well. So a couple good little opportunities setting up here. Gold sitting here steadily making new lower lows as we speak. So that will probably find support at some point here. This is a weekly VWAP. So we got our daily VWAP up here and all the volume things. And then we just came back down to our weekly VWAP. So, yeah, good chance we could find some support here. Again, look, we've got super aggressive selling. Right now, everything's lined up. It's not divergent or anything. What would really make me want to buy this right this very second is if I could see that this low was higher, right? So we're making a lower low on the chart, but we're making a higher low on the delta right here, showing that buyers are stepping in. That would give me a whole lot of confidence to just go in and buy this right now. But even buying it near its lows, again, you can always win or lose a trade. But if you bought this right now, and it goes below the low, you'd lose 160. If you bought it right now, you'd lose $70. Okay, so you lost $70, right? So but I'm trying to get it, clear to you that y'all got to reframe what you think about with losses, because you're so scared to take a loss that you end up taking a bigger loss because you're trying to do lots of things. Instead, you jump out, take the small losses, You know what I mean? Like, almost like you're waiting for too much confirmation, which is causing your setups to be too big, and now you're losing too much money. Sometimes you just got to get in there. You got to get in there and don't be afraid to take a small loss, because those small losses can be covered up with one win. But those big losses that you're taking because you're waiting for 25 confirmations, those are hard to cover up. With you need a big winner. That's all it's going to come down to. You need a big winner to cover those losses up. I take a couple losses, and then I can have a regular sized trade that will offset my loss. So look at here. We're getting really aggressive. I'm starting to get that feeling, and look at how it's being chased with a limit order. Somebody wants this to go down, and they're absorbing buyers. This is a place where you could probably just start selling. I said this yesterday, and that's exactly what happened too. Limit order's gone, so just do your own order flow. But when you see that limit order chasing price down like that, just know that if buyers step in, they're going to run into that limit order. So again, I'm not going to have enough time to do this, but selling up here, which we just had a chance to do easily. Selling up in these areas with your stop just right above the high, I find that's one of my easiest ways to get into these types of trades. You just kind of have to jump in while it's going. So, all right, let's see. Lots of big trades. We're making a new high. Are the buyers stepping in? We have a wick on Delta. They're gonna make it hard because look, how are you gonna trade that without high risk? You see, this is almost impossible for me to enter, which is unfortunate. The only way to enter it now is to be really patient, and you could wait for price to pull back, and then you could put your stop below this low. There's some stuff you could do with it, but in order to put your stop below the low, you've got to ask yourself, well, how much is the risk going to be? Like, is this trade really worth 500? Do I see enough confirmations or confluence to risk 500, or do I have enough confluence to risk 400? Right? This didn't set up the way I like it to set up it, so. That might have been it, though, right here. Look at that. Sometimes you get this, sometimes you don't. This is really the only way for that entry. But that is actually pretty cool how it pulled right back down to these bubbles here. All right. I keep sitting here explaining this and not actually getting into the trade. These are all. This is the second trade I've missed by explaining it instead of just taking it. But look at that, man. I was like, the only way we get into this trade is if it pulls back down here, and that was a $140 risk. Trading back up to the high of the candle was a $500 TP. That limit order keeps popping back up and going away, popping up, going away.
And I'm going to be joining mentorship next week, and I don't want to ask questions that are already answered there. So are the terms like POC, Titan, etc. explained in the course?
Oh yeah. I've got videos on videos for you there, so you'll be learning a lot about that stuff.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, gold drop back down in there. Let's see. I'm really debating right here right now.
Took along off the 5-minute buy zone on MNQ. That's it. Just move my stop to break even.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm really deciding what I'm gonna do with gold here.
So Darren, you must have been in that trade for a little while, eh? I'm looking at that 5-minute zone. If you entered
The
on
one,
the first
the
breakout.
one I'm in. You mean the long I'm in now? Yeah, I've been in
Yeah.
it probably for it hit probably 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I'm just
That's
looking at
taken a
the
minute.
zone when you mentioned it. Because there was that one candle, it literally just kind of wicked out and then went back down into the zone and then
Yep.
eventually just held it.
Correct. Yeah.
And you put,
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the video, but you put your stop loss at the bottom of the zone?
Yes. Yep. And I go 1-to-1 is my. I mean, that's going to be however you guys want to trade it. I mean, I know you could set your profit target for 0.5 if you want to, but I go 1-to-1 on these, and then I move my stop to break even at 0.5. So it's pulling back now. I don't know. We'll see if I can survive this, but we'll see if it pushes back up.
Yeah.
It's always interesting because you've got a sell zone that hasn't been broken yet either above it. So I have a rule when I trade 1-minute zones that and Titans too, that if I'm in a zone or especially it's like an opposite zone or if I'm trading into a zone where the profit target's like well into a zone, I typically won't take it. I don't really follow that rule on the 5-minute. I don't know why I've decided to do it that way, but it hasn't been an issue. But yeah, no, it's been. I'm to be honest. Like this week, primarily, I've had mostly those 5-minute zone trades. I haven't had as many 1-minute like zones and Titans. But they've been working out really well.
Yeah, I'm just looking. If you take a 1-to-1 on that, you're almost at the daily high.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's the other thing too. Is we're traders, right? So you still need to pay attention to stuff.
You
Like
make
for example,
adjustments.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna trade. Yeah, it just took me out of break even. But I'm not gonna trade into, for example, if I'm trading at a high where I've already seen multiple candles wick up there. I'm not going to roll the dice on, let's just gamble and see if it breaks, right? So there's some common sense in there too, that just is certain trading principles still apply. So, I didn't put any of that stuff in the video, but like, yeah, the stuff you need to pay attention to for sure. As I do the same thing, like on a 1-minute, if I see, multiple wicks, like I'm just like, yep, I'm not gonna, if it's hit a high or a low, like a couple times already, and I'm trying to, prove it wrong, then I pass on it. So
I would think the 5-minute would have overall better results than the 1-minute. It seems a little volatile.
yes, but I don't do, so I don't do so I still trade zones on the 1-minute, but I do them differently. I only trade zones if there is confluence with the 1-minute and 5-minute quantum. I looked at that as my guide. So I didn't talk about that in the video. I was just talking about the 5-minute strategy because it's really simple. It's not like anything too complicated.
Cool.
But it looks like there's let's see if it triggered yet. Yep. There's a 5-minute gold one right now too that I'm about to. I didn't see it until just now when we were talking. But
Hey, I'll be right back, guys. I gotta grab something. I'm just gonna leave my screen on.
Oh yeah, 5-minute gold buy you're talking, right?
Yep, exactly.
And see, that one doesn't look too bad because it was right near the bottom of the daily range.
Yes, yeah, and you could see you got those previous 2 5-minute candles have like pretty decent wicks on them. I love to see that kind of stuff. And so then what I do right now, because I'm in, I go grab, in the video I talk about this, but I use you can use fibs or whatever you want to do this, but there's one called the GAN box that I just adjusted to only show the 50%. And so I just draw it from my entry to the profit target, and then so I can kind of visually see where the 50% is, and as soon as it even gets within a couple ticks of that line, I'll move my stop to break even. So so far this one's looking good. We'll see if it ends up being a winner. Oh man, that NAS, that MNQ one is back up to 50% again. After
It'd be
keeping up
really
break even.
interesting to see if, like, let's say you even said, like, what percent of the time is it profitable if you only go for like a 25 instead of a 1-to-1, like a 25%.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
no,
think you'd be
100%.
I think you'd be extremely high profitability.
Yeah, I think you're right about that, or even 50%. But yes, I mean, I
Yeah.
think figuring that out, because really there's not. It just I feel like, and again, this is why I was asking Ken about going back in time, because just thinking back on, as long as I've been trading this, which hasn't been like super long, but from what I've seen, it's got a high win rate, and so it's just, but
Mhm.
I'm just one of those. It's been hard, and I know that other people probably struggle with this too, and especially the way that you're pot trading, when especially at the beginning, is going for less than 1-to-1 for me is really difficult to do. Just because I think about, okay, what's the recovery process going to look like when I take a loss, and so that's the only reason why I kind of
It's
I
funny.
like doing that. Yeah.
I'm the exact opposite. I like, not the second I'm in a small profit, but I like taking that profit. Like, if I even think it looks like it's like wavering to turn around on a 30-second candle, I like to get out and just grab my profit. And then, I mean, but a lot of times it kind of bites me in the ass, because if I held it, it would have went higher. But a lot of times too, it works out where I got out and then it turns around. But
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think too, being able to see stats, that can be very helpful with that type of trading, because then you're like, okay, well, this thing wins like 90% of the time, and it's it makes it a little bit easier to go, okay, that I could get my head around that, because the numbers are what the numbers are. So
there's a big wick on the 1 minute NQ on the last candle. Not a massive wick, but a small body, big long wick at the bottom.
yeah, that is a pretty big wick. Wow.
I've heard those called like bankers candles, where they just take everybody's liquidity out in one candle, boom. Everybody's stop is hit.
That's a good name for it.
Yeah.
All right, gold, come on now. So far, so good.
Yeah.
And if you're too over leveraged in there, man, one of them little flash counters will send you up out of there.
Yeah, I know. And you know what? That's the problem. And I'm sure everybody's had this, is if you're over leveraged, like, you don't have an easy feeling about all your trades, and you really shouldn't be trading that way. You should be trading with a smaller size. A lot of times too, when those candles wick, like, it'll stop you out, but it won't fill at your exact stop loss. It'll blow past it. So you have your stop loss for $50, it might fill it, and you're like $70 loss.
Right about that. But it works the same way with the TPs too. You get a little extra if it goes
Yeah,
too
but
fast.
usually on a candle like that, it takes out your stop loss more than in the Gs. Because I don't think too many people were selling at that point. Might be selling now, but
I was looking at gold, but I let it get away from me.
yeah, don't variance and profit so far.
Looking pretty good. Nice look.
Getting close to
Break
moving my
and
stop
retest.
here. Yeah, with these you kind of have to get good at being patient because
Oh yeah,
the
well,
moves
5 minutes.
they're bigger moves, right? I mean, it's not like a
Yeah.
1 minute you're taking like a couple points or something on gold or 10 points on NAS or something like that. These are typically like NAS. I mean, if you look at those, like that last buy box was that VISO was 806 to yes, you're talking 20. Well, it wasn't actually 20, but it was probably 16 points. So, and this one with gold is basically 10 points. So, but the thing about gold, especially, is like the thing moves like it's just crazy. The runs it goes on. And lately, like it set new all-time highs yesterday.
Yeah,
Nuts.
you ain't been wanting to get caught in no sale messing with gold the last few days, man. You gonna be kind of hot.
No. Actually, and I tried to do that yesterday. I think I tried to sell it
No
since go into
calling
it.
them highs.
No, for sure.
So guys, I want to tell y'all what I did yesterday. So I did it before, but didn't wait it till it really came through. So yesterday at 4:57, I got in the gold. Okay, it kept going up. I got actually a minus of $2,200. I didn't touch it. This was paper trading now. This is total paper trading. So then at 8:57 last night, it finally came back and hit. So when you said, Matt, that it usually go up and come back down, it definitely did yesterday. So I came back in profit, but it just took 4 hours for it to hit.
Okay.
Sometimes if we get in, we just may be on the wrong side of the swing,
Yeah.
and you gotta wait for it to curve around because we maybe them sold it on the buy side of the swing, or bought it on the sell side of the swing.
I got out of that one.
The gold
Oh, yeah.
trade.
Yeah, I mean, it came up, it got pretty close to the 50. I mean, I don't, it's not an exact science, but it got within like a handful of ticks. So, I mean, it may still push back up there, but
NQ back up there amongst the recent highs. We've been getting some rejection around this area.
you watch now gold go flying up on me. Oh, here she goes again.
There she go.
Yeah, now that I'm out of it, it's gonna go running.
Where's it
Slow.
running? I just came back.
Gold, I bought out of the 5 minute buy zone, and it got pretty close to 50% of the profit target, and I went to break even, and of course it came back, took me out, and now it's running back up again.
Do you trade? Sent me a video, so I would have the answer to this if I'd watch it, but in the meantime, do you consider watching one time frame, like having the ability to watch the 1 minute but have the zone? Would that be helpful?
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, because right now I have one what's it called? One layout with I have a 1 minute gold, a 5 minute gold, and look at this thing, man. Go figure. God dang it.
Don't chase it.
So, what's
Jeez.
that? Oh no, no, I don't. I definitely don't do that. I'm out. So it
Yeah.
just is. But this happens occasionally where it pulls back off of that, and then it's fine.
It's fine.
You're saying to be able to print a 5-minute zone on a 1-minute chart?
Yeah.
Hmm, that is interesting. The
I
only
mean,
thing that
yeah.
the only reason why I might be confused with that is because I do use the 1-minute zones too.
I mean, you
So I
could
don't know
have
how
it,
you
yeah. So
differentiate
if you
that.
could have it plot zones from the 1 minute and the 5 minute, just basically one indicator that would plot multiple time frame zones. You know what I mean, and
Hmm.
differentiate them. Because
Yep.
I'm already working on an update. I already have a version for it. I'm trying to
I
find
mean, if
it.
we could toggle them on and off, it's certainly a thing. I'd be curious to play around with that. That'd be interesting because that's really all I'm on the 5-minute. I mean, that's all I'm watching on it. I mean, well, I do want the 5-minute quantum because I do use that for my 1-minute trades, but
Yeah.
and that buy zone hit trade TP.
So, by the way, you guys, I forgot to tell you earlier. I put this on the screen, but these are my results for today. So, not too bad. The day before Christmas. All
Good
right.
job.
So, that's results for the day. I'm probably, unless something just pops up right in my face, I don't know if I'll take a trade. But let me see. See, I made two versions. Darren, I've got this one here. This was the latest version that was a little more clean and sped up. But this one, I can just make the 5 minute zones appear. And then, hold on. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Yes. This is the 5 minute one right here. So that's probably what your zone looks like on the 5 minute, right? You still here?
Oh, sorry, I'm sitting here talking with my mic muted. Is that gold that you're looking
Yeah.
at?
Yeah, right here on the. This is the 1 minute, but this is the 5 minute zone. From
Okay.
483
Okay.
down to
Yep.
74.
Yep, that looks about right.
All right.
480. Yep.
So
Exactly.
I have this version here that draws, the zones just from the other time frame, but then I have another version that will draw the other time frame zones plus the one that you're on. I just didn't know which version I was going to go with, so I built two different ones, or I was kind of working on two different ones.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely mind playing around with that. It's one of those things where not that I want to add another layer to anything, but
Mm-hmm.
you obviously know me well enough now to know kind of how my mind works. Like I would throw it up on the chart and then I would look back and just see what it looks like and
Right.
what patterns I could see with it. Because there may
Yep.
be a situation where, for example, you get a 1-minute and a 5-minute zone that overlap on top of each other, and they're both the same type of zone, right? And maybe
Right.
that proves to be a really highly successful, high probability type trade. So
Yeah.
that's where my mind's going right now with that.
Yeah. If you have them overlapping, have you thought?
Yeah, if they form, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you get a 5-minute zone that forms, and then you get a 1-minute zone within that zone, like
Mm-hmm.
that. They're both buys or both sells or whatever. Then that could be really good.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about was the overlapping part of it. If it would work that way, like, I'm only looking for buys if I have, you know, a 1 minute zone appear within the range of a 15 minute zone that's in the same direction or whatever. Right. So like even with this version, I could probably just go like this. Let's say I want 30-minute zones. Let me do it like. Oops. So what I said 30-minute on that one, and then I could just do the current time frame. So if I was trading on 5 minute, let's say. So yeah, so doing it like that yeah, you've got the zones, these zones popping up inside of the 30-minute zone. So you'd basically be, man, I was thinking about taking it all the way though. Like I was actually gonna make it where you could set it up where it would only display smaller time frame zones if they appeared in the selected larger time frame zone. So that way it would probably cut out, a majority of zones that are being drawn,
That's interesting.
but it would only draw zones that appear inside of other zones. So like you'd get these, if you were using this time frame, you'd get this buy, you'd get that buy, you'd get this. Well, I don't know if you'd get this one because it kind of comes out. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna have to be pretty rule based. It can't be like, oh well, this one's a little. I could create a buffer, but then if that's the case, I might as well make the box a different size or something. So, but like this one would appear. This one, I think there's one there, I think. So the only ones that wouldn't appear would be like these. These wouldn't appear. These wouldn't appear. These wouldn't appear. Any of the ones that are not overlapped, they would not appear. So like these wouldn't appear.
Right. Damn, that gold's still running. Jesus.
Yeah, it is. But
wish I'd have stayed in that gold trade.
Tell me about it.
Man, I bought it about 484.
was it? Let me see.
Man, I got out after about 40 bucks, but I'm still happy though. I got my piece. Look at EQ, man. That thing went
Man,
crazy.
y'all are still here.
Man, that thing
Oh,
went crazy.
sweet.
We are still here, he
Took
says.
one trade. I took one Titan trade, and then I fell asleep. So
If you
Oh.
got the EQ, you won.
I ain't done nothing today though. In M and Q, it's been pretty flat. It had that one high point at like 820.
We got a
Did you get
couple.
today, kid?
Oh yeah, I got some stuff. This is my results.
You know Ken ain't playing with him.
No kid ain't playing.
I don't come to play. I come to make
You
money.
know,
I have one goal.
that man
Just
ain't
get two
playing,
keys.
bro. That man went crazy today.
I can't even see it, man.
Big.
I got 1,400 for the day.
That man passed the 25K eval today.
Yeah, he did.
How much is the profit target on those?
Like 1,500.
15.
How much is your drawdown?
15.
15.
It's equal.
Oh yeah, I definitely passed that. I pass one of those every day.
Yeah, you killing it.
No, I don't make that much every day. Look, we're making a new
Been
high
here,
right
bro.
now.
I've been here. I don't know what you're talking about. You're just making up stuff now. It's okay. It's okay, kid.
We got a zone popping up right there too.
Yeah, I'm about to update my volume levels here. I could see one more trade in my future.
I was literally thinking the same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, so we got a volume level here. New daily high. I gotta move that.
And then
Update
make
this.
it to 8, and then make it to 850 though. I'm kind of scared.
See, I will tell you one thing. Oh, look, a buy limit is chasing price up right now. Look, 85 contracts ready to absorb any sellers. So as much as this looks like a flush right here, look, see, I've analyzed myself out of 3 trades. Look, if it flushes, I might just sell it. As long as it's cheap, I'll just sell it. Because I keep analyzing myself out of trades today. But look, we got limit orders, 50 of them sitting up here at 850. We've got 160 limit orders chasing price up right now. So nobody's really probably wanting to sell into that. I don't know. What does that make you guys feel like? What do you feel like when you know that there's 170 contracts all at this one price, just ready to to buy right there. Does that make you feel bullish or bearish? Huh?
I feel bullish knowing that.
It makes you
Like,
feel
like,
bullish,
you feel
right?
like that's your you feel like that's your 100 and some points.
Doesn't it make you feel like it's not gonna go below there? You know what I mean? It's like it makes you want to buy. So that's what I was saying earlier. Those are the types when I see it chasing it up like that, and I'm trying to figure out where to enter. That's where I like to just you just gotta buy and put your stop below the low of the candle. If it goes below the low of the candle, it's obviously going down at that point. Look at all these orders starting to come in up here.
Did we touch 850?
Not yet. We're coming up to it though.
And is there going to be trading on the 26th?
Probably. All right, we just hit 860.
Yeah.
But
Matt, the market.
Yeah, you keep going up.
Yeah, so
How we look?
we're pushing. All those limit orders got filled right there. I assume they got filled because I see a bunch of buy orders on right at the same price. So this is where I would look for. I'm gonna say it, although I don't want to say it. This is where we should look for divergence. What I'm looking for is a flush. I'm looking for some. Right, that's my simple human brain. I'm like green, red. Right, I just want to see that candle close bearish. I'm already thinking about selling right now. I want to sell it right now, to be honest. That's the truth. What we should do, the right answer is we should wait for divergence in CVD. It depends. It depends on your risk appetite. Selling it right now. Selling it now. Every single time it's not at the high, that's the lowest risk place because what are you gonna do? Lose $20? Lose $50? Like right here. That's a $25 risk. It's not super volatile right now. So now I'm saying that's my way of thinking. I want to work it because I don't want to miss it. Straight up, I don't want to miss it. So I automatically want to start working it. The right thing to do is to make it mechanical. It's already invalidated because it's broken the high. What we need is a bullish candle closing strong. Then we need to see a bearish candle closing strong with red delta and ideally divergent CVD. That is an A++ setup. All right, that was all of it right there. So that's A+. This, it might sell, and it might come back down to this area or back down into here. It could also go up. I don't know, but that's what I would be looking for right here.
Hey Matt.
Yeah.
The markets close at basically at the close at 13:15, which is 1:15 Eastern, so 10:15 a.m. Pacific. So 1:15 Eastern today, but it opens back up tomorrow at normal Asian session time at 6 p.m. Eastern.
Y'all gonna trade tomorrow?
Cool. No. I'll be here Friday though.
Are you reading this?
I'm reading what Vicky posted. Yeah.
Let me go look. Where is it posted at?
In a mentorship chat. It's literally it's like one of the last posts.
Oh, okay. I see.
From Apex.
Yep. All right. Hey, trader. Yeah, make sure you guys got trades closed by that time. No pending orders on your chart. If you go to the FAQ section, also you can see that same information. If you're not in mentorship, so you can't see what we're talking about, it's like a calendar of day, trading times. Same thing right here. Look, Christmas holiday. Today is Wednesday. 1:15 Eastern Standard Time. If you have a pending order on your account and it's a performance account, you can say bye-bye. Oh, look at that. It did sell,
Okay.
and it went right to that freaking green line. So there you go. It didn't set it up perfectly, but you
I
guys
got it.
good.
When you said that you should buy now, I hit the button.
Yeah.
So I got it right at. Oh, let me close that that order. I'm already out though.
You mean
I got
sell,
it
right?
at 8:51.
Okay. You mean sell. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. You know what I meant. Yeah, you said sell. If you want to sell at the best time, you sell it right now. And when you said that, I was like,
Right.
all right.
Okay,
And I
good.
put my stop loss right a little, and it was really small too. But yeah,
It was a very
I'm
small
happy.
risk. That's what I'm talking about though. That was a a grade A. There's a A plus, right? Which are way more mechanical. This is a little bit more subjective. Like it didn't, it kind of hit like 3 out of the 5 things on the checklist. But the order flow's there.
I could trade today, so thanks, boss.
Yep. So what you got? If you got in, you said at 8:21. I mean at 8:51. You got it. You got in the wick. So you made at least $150 off of like a $20 risk.
That's made $100.
Yeah. So $100 off of a $20 risk, and that's on.
If
That's
you
on.
if you
By the
just
way,
sold
that's.
it at 850,
By the way, that is a $20 risk on NASDAQ in Q, not MNQ. That's what's crazy.
It was like a $7.50 risk
Mm-hmm.
to make $100. So.
On MNQ.
On MNQ, yeah, it was like you said, it was a super duper low risk. It did.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Now you know
if
you
you're
could
gonna sell
you know
now.
you know
I was
you
like,
could
oh.
you know that every single trade you take could be just like that. But you just have to find them at the right time. It's really just
Yeah,
about
I just gotta wait for
just
you to
sitting
say
here.
you should sell right now. That's all.
Look, hey, you might sell right now. If you missed it, go.
Ken, you big on them highs and lows.
Yeah.
Them major areas, man. Daily highs, daily lows.
Yeah,
Is it
trade.
gonna keep going or it's gonna turn around?
That's the truth. Why trade anywhere else? I mean, those are the most predictable places to trade. 100%. If you want something real predictable, you trade right there. I like predictable.
Going back up towards them highs again too. Could get a double top or
A little double dipper. You mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm so looking.
Because if it decides to just straight up turn around here, and it actually starts to go down before it closes. It'll most likely close. Oh man, it could go so far down. I just don't know what to expect because of it being today. You know what I mean? Because it's being today and the holidays and stuff. But like in a typical situation, if it fails to continue breaking above where it is right now, it could end up all the way back down at like 813, 815. We're talking about like all the way back down in here. So that would be super low risk. But it's moving really slow right now. All right, let's see. It just touched up above that high. It's not divergent, by the way.
I'm off to work. Have a good Christmas, everybody, and we'll See you later.
See you later.
Merry
All
Christmas.
right, man. Merry Christmas, brother. Be blessed.
Good Christmas to
You and the
everybody.
family.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
All right, Matt.
It ain't doing nothing right now. It's moving so slow. There was something I was going to show you guys on gold earlier, and I totally forgot what it was. It was a long time ago. I remember I was getting excited about it. Oh yeah. You guys were talking about gold and how you were like, man, I wish I would have held it. I wish I would have held it. Remember that? Who was talking about that? It was probably
Cut out.
it
We
was
don't know what you
Darren.
said.
It was Darren and I think Clyde were talking about it, right?
So I have another slot there. What was that, Ken? What were you saying?
Was that you? Was that you guys talking about you traded gold earlier and you were like, oh man, I wish I would have held it and all that?
Oh, I just lost you.
He's doing it right when he says it. It cuts out.
I know.
Wait, am I cutting out? Is that what you guys are saying?
Yes.
Yeah, you're like
Yeah,
you guys were like.
Hey, man.
Okay,
It's right when you start to say it.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay, so earlier you guys were talking about gold and you were like saying, oh, I wish I was still in it. I think you guys were buying. It was right when I came back earlier after I had left.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So
I bought out of the 5-minute trading zone, and for me it went about 50%, and then I moved my stop to break even. It came down, wicked my stop, and then proceeded to go to take profit. So
yeah. So we were looking for buys down there, right? I was talking about it, and I was saying that I didn't get a chance to buy it because I was so busy explaining it step by step that I literally, and I was like 2 times now I've explained this as it's happening and didn't take the trade and just watched it go by. And then it dipped back down, made a new low, and then it swept that low, and then it started to go up. I bought right there and closed. I bought and closed, and I made a profit on that trade. I'll show it to you in a second. But I just want to point out that I then left. I said, I'll be right back. And I came back, and you and somebody were talking about gold, and it was all the way up to like 44.90 or something like that. And y'all are like, man, I wish I would have held it. And then I looked at where I entered. I didn't get a chance to compare the trade, but look, I don't know if you guys got in at the same place or not, but I got in all the way down here. So if you guys were talking about it all the way over here, I'm like, damn, I wish I would have held on to that trade. I was one contract. I was just one contract. That was
I was in at 83 and a half-ish.
83. Okay, yeah, so right about in this area here. So, but yeah, anyway, look, all the way up here, $1,800 trade, or even up here to 1,100. But isn't that story of our lives? Wish I would have held it.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost every trade. Especially if you use TV Blend.
Somebody said that. I saw a video where somebody was talking about that, and they were saying that, like, if you say that every time you take a trade, if you say, oh, I wish I would have held on to that, or I wish I would have this or that, basically they say like you have, you know, like you need to work on your risk management or something like that. But I'm like, dude, I've been trading for a long time. You're always gonna feel like that. Like I seriously think you're always gonna feel like that, where you know, where you're going to look at a trade and say, I wish I could have held on to it. I mean, what's going to change? What's going to change in you later? Are you just not going to care about it for some reason? Like, it doesn't, you know, I don't see that that's something that you're going to improve on over time. You're always going to wish that you did something a little bit better or think about how you could have done it better. By the way, I don't know if you guys are still watching NASDAQ, but it's doing something weird. It's tried to curve over here in the candles, but Delta continued pushing up, which meant that the price was curving over, but Delta was remaining steady, meaning we still had somewhat steady buys coming on in here. It's kind of weird when that happens. What I'll do is I'll look up at the top and I'll try to see if there are stacked imbalances up at the top of every single candle so that I can see if there's like a big amount of pressure actually, you know, going in here to try to lift the price. And if there is, then I know it's absorption. If there's not, that's typically a scenario where I lean more towards exhaustion. You don't see that as often. Normally it's absorption, but to me this looks, you know, where more like it was just out of fuel, right? You don't see anything super crazy in the beginning. You do right here, stacked imbalances, and then they kind of scatter, right? And then you got a little bit stacked right here, but it doesn't seem like there's anything significant about this area. So buyers are still staying in here, so they're, you know, we can see buying. Price isn't pushing up, but it isn't completely going down, right? It's weird, right? And so that's the main point, is it's weird. When it's weird like that, it should make you want to observe it and try to figure it out. It's not a time for placing trades. It's a time for observation, and this is where you want to look at it and try to see, is anyone showing their hand, right? Like, what's going on here? If you're anything like I am, that's where my mind goes right here. Now, if you can't look inside of the candle like I'm doing right here because you don't have this platform, you could do this with candlesticks, but you're just going to be paying more attention to the wicks, which is what I think most people do, is they'll start looking for wicks. Like, are there rejections up here in this area? What I see is I see the rejections in here, and I'll kind of go like somewhere like right here. Right? I see it kind of like this area. Right, I know that I can see it in this area, but like this is kind of the rejection. This is where price is spending most of its time. And then if I look in here, maybe there's something meaningful. But you could do the same thing with the wicks and just looking at it. And anybody and everybody that's trading futures should have access to Delta, because you got NinjaTrader, you got TradeOv. You have the ability to look at CVD. If that helps you, which I think it could, then you know you can put it on here. You know what's happening is there's more aggressive buying. That's why it's going up. So more people are pressing the buy button right now. So that means that realistically price should go up if CVD keeps rising. If it's not going up, that means that they're absorbing it, or it's exhaustion. I hate that word, but I don't feel like there's a lot of exhaustion in this market. Again, holiday, maybe today, but the main thing is when you're seeing something like that, it should make you want to watch. And this is where you'd start looking for any kind of intent, like a fake break, so a sudden burst of volume, right? Like if you want to see somebody doing something, the people that matter, the guys that move the market, they're gonna have to slip up somewhere. That's gonna give you your edge, and then you execute on that. Otherwise, you're just like anybody else. We're just sitting here and we can see it consolidating. You're probably gonna have people buy right here, or you have people selling right here with their stops above the high, which is a buy stop. And then you have buyers ready to buy the breakout with a buy stop. So that means there's buy orders here. Look, boom, just like that. And so now think what just happened. Sellers got stopped out. Buyers got triggered. Now let's watch and see what happens to this area right here. You see, you see how you know something's happening, and then something happened, and look at the freaking buys right there. You couldn't set it up more perfect, and then now you just need to look for it and see, does something meaningful happen after this, right? Like, let's see the volume. See, there's nothing really meaningful about that. The volume's very average. The delta was kind of crazy compared to the rest, but on average volume, I'd like to see more participation to really, like if you wanna trade something with some pressure, like don't you want it to have a lot of pressure? Like you want it to kind of pop,
Hey guys, I want to say Merry Christmas. I'm getting off. I got to go on base. Y'all have a great day.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. You have a great one. You and the family.
All right, so we don't have any divergence in delta. We do have a strong close. We do have a lot more volume than that's session. No, we have decent volume. Oh, shoot, this is getting crazy. I don't know. This is just getting crazy now. I'll try my best to explain this, but this y'all need to learn this for yourself. This is too difficult narrating this like I'm on the Animal Planet. A wild green candle. A wild green candle breaches the top. Followed by a pack of sellers.
Crikey for you.
The antelope leaps. It jumps. Yeah.
Hi.
You can see the greed and the fear in their eyes. All right. Big volume. This is meaningful. Okay. This looks good. See, I need a trading view chart because I need to be able to zoom out and quickly and go see what's going on. Are we at levels? What's happening here? Where's my 4-hour levels? All right. We're in uncharted territory. I didn't expect we'd get here. What? We're at all-time highs? Oh, goodness. On Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. Well, we got buyers still present. It did everything it's not supposed to do for a flush. It made a higher high, but so did this one. This one we didn't see sellers step in, and it dropped down anyways. Got to at least get a bearish candle. This is no different, you guys. This is literally no different than what was just happening earlier. The thing that should be at the forefront of everything right now is how much is my risk, because see, we got more volatile, so you need to take that into effect. Like if you decide to enter all the way down here, remember this is now 130. It's not a $60 risk, so you need to think about your risk first of all and make sure you're set up and ready for that, and then just look for your pattern, look for your setup, and let the rest just be easy and fun. I don't see no sellers stepping in. That's the only crappy part right here, right now.
Like you said, Ken, sometimes it's best to just let it make a range somewhere.
Yeah.
Even if you see a little small range, you got something to work with.
So now look, you see, I'm on my tick chart, and I can see that Delta has flattened out since 9:34, which was 2 minutes ago. So Delta is totally flattened out. This is on the tick chart. I'm not going to look at it for very long because it will make me go early. But I do definitely see that. This is why I added this tick chart, because I was like, I sure would like to be able to see it a little bit more. Like just the first signs of sellers actually taking CVD down, which, is kind of, I see it a little bit right now. Like I just want to see if using a tick chart, if I'll be able to see the moment that sellers step in. It's just for fun. All right.
So what would you be looking for, like to see like the moment?
I want to see CVD. I want to see CVD pushing down right now.
Okay.
So and I want to see divergence. So you see how we're making a higher high, but we're making a lower high. This is the first time we've had divergence in CVD, right? So it's starting to get a little bit more serious to me. And then I'd like to see this delta starting to push down a little bit more. Now, this is a tick chart, so I can't take too much context from it. I'm going to be trading the 1 minute. So on a 1 minute, delta has gone flat. I'd say I'm okay with everything now. I'm okay with everything. At this point, you could really sell as close to the top as possible. Too late. It busted above it before I could do anything. And the same thing. Everything I just said is the exact same, but now we're moving it to this candle right here. So that's crazy, though. This looks like a huge candle, but it's 14 points. So now literally the exact same thing I was talking about is what I'll be looking for here. Sellers stepping in. This is this is supposed to close above the POC, which it did not, but maybe that's because sellers stepped in heavy up here and pushed it down. A bearish candle closing is the next step. And again, selling even now or up here is where your risk is going to be the lowest. If you think it's going to turn around here, it shouldn't go above that candle high, right? Oh my God, look at it. It shouldn't go above that candle high. So selling here is going to have you at your max risk. Selling up higher is going to have you at your lowest risk. The only thing you risk right now is missing the trade. If you don't enter now, then you may miss the trade because it may never go back up there. But you may also avoid a losing trade. So we have that volume area that runs between 79 and basically the high of the candle. So it could retest that area and then go down, or it could just drop. I don't know. But in terms of what just took place there, this is again the same type of everything. The difference is how much do you want to risk between here and here. The pattern itself is there. So if I traded now with one contract, it's $140. It's $140 if you traded right at this current price. Chances that it would go back down, let me see. 140 for 140, I see that. I mean, you gotta be you really gotta be fast with this stuff, you guys. So hopefully you're taking notes.
I'm actually hoping to get a red dot on TV blast and get something where it can switch back to green. If we're going for that 900 level, but I need a deeper pullback than this.
Yeah.
She look like she ready to take back off.
Yeah. Man, I got excited about that. I was like following it and zooming in.
There she go again.
This would be, if you're still thinking sell, this would be like same price where we talked about entering before, where the volume level is. Tons of volume all throughout that candle. Just lit up with that indicator, that big trades indicator. It looked like a Christmas tree. And you just need to get one of these, and we got us a Merry Christmas tree. Well, I'm gonna watch this, and then I'm gonna watch this one, and then I'm going to hop off after here. So if it breaks the high, I'm getting off, and if it drops forever, I'm getting off. I'm definitely not about to go do some last minute shopping.
That was very convincing, kid.
Yeah, not me. I always get my shopping done early and on time.
Early and often.
Might just be Celsius time.
I got one in the fridge.
Look, everyone's drinking those now, huh?
Yeah, I went to Walmart and I was like, what? A dollar and some change? They had on some kind of sale.
Uh-oh, they're dropping the price on them. That means something's wrong.
Cosmic vibe. That's what I got.
Actually, I think that's the one. Let me go look at this real quick. Is it like a sherbet flavor? Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
It says like a sparkling fruit punch edition.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they got they got a handful of flavors. I like a lot of them, but my favorite one I think is just the berry flavored one, just like wild berry or whatever. And then there's a sherbet one from that cosmic one that you're talking about, sherbet something. I like that one. And then there's a lot of flavors I really don't care for either. Oh, getting close to that high, man. See, this is low risk right here. Low risk. But that's not a flush. This would just be at this point. This would just be like a nice trade if it just happened to just turn around right here. I mean, that would be $50 risk right there. If just sold it to stop up above the daily high. But I'm kind of with you on that. I mean, if it drops, great, that'd be fine. But Clyde, I'm kind of with you where, normally what you see will be something like, and then it'll do the move. But I was just hoping that we might, just for Christmas, run.
Up there, man.
Just run up here, ping, ping.
They want that 900, man.
Yeah, probably. Oh, there's actually at 890. I see a ton of limit orders sitting up there. 77 at right on the dot at 890, and then at 900 there's 27. But probably if it goes up that way, it'll probably stack with some more. Delta did go flat for a little bit. And then it started to push back up, so there's no real divergence. Let me check that tick chart. Tick chart's on went up, down, left, right, and tick chart's on there, all of it. It's already showed signs of buying, selling. Delta, triple this, triple that.
See what she do, man. I'm playing with some of my profits right now.
Wouldn't it be cool if this candle closes, it turns around, flips a red titan, and drops? All it's got to do is... Oh, that candle didn't close bullish. Otherwise, it would have done what I was just saying. There's 67 buy limits at 879. They just popped up a minute ago and said, oh, okay, there's the high. So, all right, you guys know what to do. You can do the exact same thing here, and you can watch it over and over. I'm not going to do that. I've got some stuff I got to do, so I'm hopping off. We do not have trading tomorrow, so we won't see each other until maybe Friday. I might hop on Friday morning at open just to check it out, see what's going on, see if there's anything worthwhile. I don't know yet. I'll see what's going on. We might be there, we might not. But otherwise, I'll see you guys on Friday or Monday. Enjoy your Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas.
You too.
Man.
Thank you.
See you later.
Merry Christmas, everybody. It's been a great year.
Yes, sir.
Amen. Take it easy. Enjoy your families.
All right. Bye bye, guys.
Post those results.